everyone. Good morning. It's your favorite host on the show, on the Motivation Time Out show, and the name of your host is Damilola Abodunrin, and it's always my pleasure to be doing this with all of you guys every morning, Monday and Wednesday morning precisely. Please can you bring the music down a little bit? I feel it's entering my microphone. So, and thank you so much to everybody that has taken their time to join the Motivation Time Out series. You all mean so much to me. The Motivation Time Out series is a series where we get to instill belief into our day. We get to motivate ourselves going into the day. We get to motivate ourselves going into the week, and all of that are the things that we get to look at. And this is very, very important because I believe that words I believe that words is life, and for every word that you say into your day or into your moment before you start the week would go a long way in determining the way that week will look like. Thank you so much everybody that has joined in. So this month of July, the theme we are looking at is putting a twist on it. Put a twist on it. And guess what, guys? We are putting a twist on it now, even with our live services. We are now live on Instagram and we are live on Facebook at the same time, so that's about changing the perspectives to which you handled your situations before. So we are putting a twist on it now. So if you are live on Facebook right now, Damilola Abodunrin lesson, you will get to see, you'll be watching this directly live on Facebook, and you would also be watching it live here on Instagram. So it's always my pleasure to be doing this every morning. And last month, I want to do a quick recap. Last month, we spoke about speaking it right and lightening up the realities that you seek. We spoke about how much your words matter in terms of the realities that you get to see. We spoke about how your thoughts will shape your words and how your words will shape the realities that you seek. So what were the things that I spoke about? I said that if the realities you want to see, speak the realities that you want to see. Thank you so much for joining. Everyone that has joined in, Master OM, thank you for joining. Ifemi Adio, thank you for joining in. Loba, thank you for joining in. Oguni Shegun, thank you for joining. That's my Instagram audience. My Facebook audience, thank you guys for tuning in. Today's the first day, so I'm still trying to get that balance very well. So don't mind me if I'm looking up and down at the same time, but I will get it. I'll master it better. So as I was saying, guys, so we started the whole discussion talking about speaking it right, speaking positive utterances into your day, speaking so much of positivity into your day even before you start the day. And I did also talk about the consequences of your words. So that is, you are not speaking with relation to, you're not speaking in relation to the things that you are seeing at that moment. You're not speaking in relation to the circumstances around you. Rather, you are confessing the positives of those circumstances around you. So even when something is not adding up right now at the moment, even when things are not working out at that moment, even when things are not looking like it is visible that is going to add up at that particular moment, what are you doing? You are speaking the positive face of those things. So you are down right now. Rather than seeing yourself as sick, you say that you have strength. You are financially not buoyant right now, and rather than seeing yourself as financially not buoyant, you are seeing yourself as rich in Christ. You are seeing yourself as rich. So you confess those things that you want to see. That was part of the things that we were talking about last month. And we did also speak about our associations. We spoke about how much the relationship that you have with other people can influence your thoughts and also influence your words. So all of these were things we spoke about last month, and I would want you to please go and search through on Facebook, on Instagram, search the Motivation Timeout, visit Transparency Speaks, the page on Facebook and on Twitter. You would get to engage all of this post, and I feel it's going to be very good for you. I know it's going to be I know it's going to be very good for you, because I know that you will be the best out of all of these messages. So today, what exactly are we treating? We are treating putting a twist on it, the episode 2 of putting a twist on it. That's the theme for the month of July, and we are treating a sub theme for the week called perspectives. We started the perspectives subtheme precisely last week. That's on the 1st of July. That was on Wednesday. And today we'll be going into perspectives again. So when you hear the word perspectives, what does it sound like? Perspectives generally are the way you view things. Perspectives is the angle from which you look at something. Perspectives is the view you have about something. So if I'm asking you what's your perspective towards something, I'm asking you how do you see this particular situation. So I'll be streaming it down to life perspective. So when I say life perspective, what do I mean? I mean how you see life. Simple. How you see life. How do you see life? From what angle do you see life from? You know, it's so funny how we all don't understand the value of our perspective until when situations happen and we try changing how we see them. The words you speak, the thoughts you have, the actions you put up, and inactions even the people that you keep around you, they have a way of fueling your perspectives. Because I think the music should still go down a little bit. So what am I saying? In other words, I'm saying that the people you keep, the words you speak, the thoughts you have, the actions and inactions you put up has a way of affecting your perspective. Has a way of affecting your life perspective. That is the reality that you get to see. So now, how does this work out? Perspectives. Perspectives are those things that you see and how you see them. That's perspectives. So I wrote a few things in my book here. I said perspectives is the tool from which we can see life situation, problems, people, and from different ways. So talking about perspectives, what does perspective help you create? Perspective helps you create understanding. Perspective helps you to see beyond the border, or it helps you see the border of a context. That is, in other words, it helps you to shed away unnecessary worries and seeing opportunities. Now, how do you see issues? How do you view issues? You're going into another week. Are you still coming with the same mentality that you came with last week? Yes, I understand that you've gone through so many limiting factors. You've had so many tough times last week. I know you've had so many tough times last month. But how are you seeing the month of July? How are you seeing this week? Are you changing that perspective? Are you changing your view? Are you changing the way you see that particular situation that you have probably been battling with for a long while this month? Are you changing your orientation about that particular thing this month, this week? Because you can't expect that you will get to view these things the same way and you want to see any notable difference. It's not going to work. It's not magic. It's not going to work. So if you want to see solutions, you need to change your view. That is, what are those things that you're identifying? Are you identifying the problems rather than thinking of the solutions? I have a way that I used to put it whenever I'm talking to people. I tell people that the solution that you seek is with you. So that is, a problem you can't solve would not come your way. So what you need to do is, rather than focusing on the problems, start looking at the solutions. And that's where putting a twist on it comes in. So putting a twist on the way you view issues, putting a twist on the way you view circumstances, putting a twist on the way you see life situations. How do you see life situations? Do you think that life situations, when they come hard at you, they're supposed to weigh you down? Rather those situations, rather than seeing those situations as a foil that pushes you? How do you see situations? How do you undo fear? When fear comes your way, do you see fear as a limiting factor rather than bagging the fear and holding on to faith and pushing ahead? How do you see all of these things? This goes a long way. So you need to change your perspectives to the way you handle issues this week. You need to change your perspectives to the way you view issues this month. You need to change your perspective to how you talk to the next person next door. You need to change your perspective about everybody around you. Now, see, I need you to understand this. Nobody will change your perspective for you. It is you. So the choice to change your perspective lies in your hands. The choice to see things that way lies in your custody. So the question I'll be asking you now is, are you ready to change that perspective, or you still continue to embrace the way this particular issue looks like? It's your choice. So, but on the other hand, what would I tell you? I tell you that if you keep looking at it from the same angle that you have been looking at it from, would it change? If you keep viewing that situation from the same angle you've been viewing it from, will it change? Almost no, or probably never. So what does it take for you to change that perspective? Nothing, absolutely nothing. It just takes you looking at it from a different perspective. It just takes you putting a twist on it. That's all you need to change from that particular thoughts that you're having, from that particular situation that you're having, into the solution that you're about seeing. So are you focusing on the problems rather than looking at the solutions? Is a question you should ask yourself. That's the only way your perspectives will change. You want to see results, but you are focusing on the problems. How do you want to see the results? It's not going to come. It's not magic. So I need you to hold up a little bit. I need you to slow down on yourself. I need you to look back, look forth, look up, look down, look at the situations and identify the solutions. I come again. Look at the situations and identify the solutions. That way, your perspective, your views will change. Yes, you get that desired result. Yes, you get that desired result. Yes, that thing that you have at the back of your mind will add up. It's going to work. But you need to change your perspective towards it and have a positive mindset towards it. So I'm moving straight down into building a positive perspective. Or better still, I'll call it building your perspective. So it is yours if you want that perspective to be negative or positive, but I'm moving straight down into building your perspective. So I'm going to teach you how I want you to build your perspective this week, because it will help you go a long way in the way you handle situations. So what's the first one? In my notepad here, I wrote, take time to connect with your mission. Take time to connect with your mission. How does it mean? It means that you need to take time and focus on the things that you should focus on. And what is that thing you should focus on? I just mentioned it before now. Focus on the solutions rather than the problem. So even though you have an autopilot day, probably you know that once you step out, you're supposed to go to work. From work, you're supposed to meet A, B, C, and D. You're going to handle all the issues on your desk. Then next off, you leave work and you come back home, and you still have that problem in the day. So what you need to do is you need to focus on mission. What is the problem and what's the solution to that problem? So take time out to connect with your mission. And what's that mission? The mission is the solution. The solution to that problem is the mission. So even though your day is on autopilot, you can still think of that solution in that day. You can still think of how you want to infuse the solution into that day. So that's you putting a twist on it. Number 2 is positive angles. Positive angles. You need to start saying yes and to all situations. I come again on that. You need to start saying yes and to all situations. The positive angle. I've told you guys over and over again that a positive attitude will help you a long way. It's not how do I put this? There's no magic about understanding that a positive attitude will help you go a long way. So you have to consciously develop that positive attitude, that positive mentality. Mr. Samuel Balogun, thank you for joining me on Instagram. All my Facebook fans, thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much for joining. Yes, thank you very much. Yes, and to all situations. Yes. So when you are seeing limiting factors, you say, and then the solution. When the doors are not opening, you are saying yes to the doors opening. When there are no opportunities, when it sounds like it is no, the next thing you're saying is yes to that opportunity, because you see no as next opportunity. So what do I mean? You're saying yes and to all situations. So you should be able to give an objection to every situation that doesn't add up to that doesn't help that positive perspective that you want to get this week. So it's critical that you have to know when you're supposed to use your yes and when you're supposed to use your hand. Because if you don't use the two of them, you allow situations pass you by and you will not be able to identify the opportunities in those situations. So you've been able to focus on your mission. Then now, it takes you to use the yes and the and. That's number 2. So number 3 is push boundaries. That's how I put it. I said push boundaries out of your comfort zone. Push boundaries out of your comfort zone. And I put it this way, that it is better to do something than do nothing at all. Now I understand that yes, you have that limiting factor to a particular problem, and you feel like, if I don't have this, if I don't have that, I won't be able to do this. Why don't you set it rolling? Look at where you are today and look at where you will be tomorrow if you even starting now. So I have this particular idea in my head that is supposed to have started rolling since July 1, and quite unfortunately it didn't go since July 1. And today is the 5th day. I think today is the 5th day, right? Today is the 5th day of July, right? And today is the 6th day of July, and I am yet to put that idea outside massively. But even though that idea has not gotten out massively, it has started in the pipeline. As at yesterday, I had one of the greatest limiting factors to that idea. I was already on the project. I started around 10:30, and around 12:30, I was still on the project. I was about to finish it. It was on the last phase of the project, and boom, the limiting factor came in. So at that point in time, I almost regretted even starting the project at all. But I had the positive mindset that I know that there will be a solution at the end. So what does positive mindset do to you? Positive mindset doesn't deny you of the realities, but what it does is it sets your focus on the solutions even though you are going through the toughest time. So positive mindset makes you acknowledge that even though the toughest circumstances have come, there is always a way through them. So as at that point in time, when that limiting factor came in, the next thing I was thinking of solutions, but I had my mindset focused on the positives that yes, it's going to happen. So what I did henceforth was I placed my focus on, yes, this limiting factor, you'll be out of the way. And even though that limiting factor would not leave the way in my particular environment where I am, I was going to look for solutions to get it. And guess what? As at around 5 a.m. this morning, around 4:30 a.m. this morning, the solution that I was thinking of came out. And the limit was broken. Then what? The result was gotten. So if you're not ready to push boundaries, if you're not ready to get out of that comfort zone, if you're not ready to start it, my dear friend, you would stay in that box forever. You won't get out of that space. You won't get out of it. So push boundaries, get out of your comfort zone. It is better to do something than do nothing at all. They say half a bread is better than none in some situations, though not in all situations. But in this particular idea, start it. Work towards, put that mindset on the solution. Number 4, I put it here as empathy. I wrote, learn to wear the shoes of many people. See, one of the best ways by which you can have the right mentality or have the right perspective to a particular situation is when you get to wear the shoes of many people. How do I mean? I mean, change. Stop looking at things from your angle. Start to look at things from a bigger angle. So if you're dealing with 5-10 people, start to think like the 5 or 10 people around you. It's very important. Then you have to learn to progress and not perfect. That is, focus on the progress and don't focus on being perfect. Issues will come up. You have to practice deep listening and you have to be ready to ask questions. That's the only way you can wear the shoes of many. So when issues happen, I need you to be able to ask questions. That's the only way by which you can build a different perspective from your own perspectives. And you also have to practice deep listening. That is, when you give people listening ears, you'll be able to know what they want to say. That's why we have 2 ears. Deep observation. That's why we have 2 eyes. So you can observe critically and listen carefully so that when you're about to process your own perspective, you have a better perspective to process. So So I think that's the third one, or that's the fourth one, empathy. And I think the theme for the line for that the theme for that line basically is that you should learn to wear the shoes of many. It helps you, and it helps you to have a better perspective to situations. So number 5 is have the bigger view. I wrote it that way, that have the bigger view and the smaller focus. I went to a fellowship. My fellowship back in Lautech then is Student Christian Movement, and we used to say that we are so big to accommodate you, and we are so small to notice you. So that was one of our taglines, that we are so big to accommodate you and we are so small to notice you. Imagine you are seeing that your situation from a bigger view. Imagine you are outside in the skies right now, and you could view the earth from a bed high view. You're going to have so much perspectives to look at, but nevertheless, you still have that focus on what you're looking at. So number 5 would be have the bigger view, but have the smaller focus. That is, you're looking at the big picture, but you're paying attention to the details, and you're paying focus on the things that need to pay focus on. So, and what is that focus? The focus is the solution. What's the bigger picture? The bigger picture is the problems and your circumstances and situations that life has given to you. But that's not going to weigh you down. Your focus is your focus, and you're paying attention to details. It's critical this week. Then number 6, I wrote here, build appreciation and add value. During the course of last month, I brought up an operation VPR, and the operation VPR was value people, praise effort, and respect everybody regardless. Value people, praise effort, and respect everyone. Build appreciation. It will cost you nothing to tell somebody thank you. It will cost you nothing to say words that are beautiful to people around you. So rather than all those words of soothing appeal, the words that you should say that should serve as words of appreciation to somebody, rather than hurt them, why don't you let them go? Why don't you say to somebody? Why don't you appreciate somebody next to you? Why don't you say positive words to somebody? It's very, very important. So build appreciation. Then the last 2 is practice accountability, avoid blames, and share and avoid blames, avoid justifications. See, I want you to know that you can't be perfect in all things, but the idea is that you need to focus on the progress. So once you are better than the way you were yesterday, that is fine. You don't need to be perfect at it. Then the last one is share effectively. And what share effectively? It is not what you say, it is what they hear. It is not what you say, it is what they hear. And who are the they? It is what the people around you hears from your mouth. So it's not about you saying it. It's about what are the actions that you're putting up after those words that you speak. Are your words correlating with your actions? Are you forgiven? I got into a funny issue with my younger brother sometimes during the course of last week. And it was a very beautiful experience, because for about 4 days, even though I had forgiven him, I found it hard to let go of that particular situation. At the point in time, I had to let go the hard way. So I understand that sometimes it might not be easy for you to change that perspective, but what I need you to do is believe that you can, and yes, you will. So as you're going into this week, we're rounding up now, as you're going into this week, will you take your focus off the problems and start shedding more light to the solutions? Will you fuel your thoughts with those solutions that you seek? Will you stop brooding on the problem and start thinking of the solutions? So all of these are tips that I want you to look into. Visualize the solution, change your routine, and take your power off and face the situation that you need to face. So this week, I want you to value people. I want you to respect everybody around you. I want you to praise people's effort. Build appreciation passionately. Build a positive perspective. It will help you because your perspectives will shape your mindset. And once your mindset is shaped, you're set. You're set for exploits. So as you go out this week, I want you to remember that you need to learn to put a twist on it. And it starts by changing that routine. I need you to visualize. I need you to change that routine. I need you to believe that it would happen, and it will. It might take time, but that desired result would be here. So I'll see you guys on Wednesday on the motivation timeout with Damilola Abodunrin. And I want you to know that there is no other better time than this to be doing this with you guys. I hope that you have a super amazing and splendid day ahead, and most importantly, a blessed week. Till I see you guys on Wednesday, please don't stop valuing people, praising effort, respecting people. Don't stop visualizing the positive. Start to change that routine. Put a twist on everything that you do. Because yes, that result is achievable, but you have to start something than do nothing at all. So I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Thank you so much. To my Facebook family, to my Instagram family, thank you so much. I love you, and I'll see you on Wednesday.